Be sure to follow my Twitch over at twitch.tv/Daltnix. Thank you. Hello everybody. In today's video, something a little bit different. I am going to be doing a Q&A style of video. So as of today of recording, it is May 1st. This marks 2 years of creating content on this channel, which is super fun. I am super happy at the success of this channel and that you guys enjoy the builds. So I figured we'd do a little bit of a Q&A video for you guys to help get to know me a little bit more, or just answer some of your questions, whether it's about me, Destiny 2, YouTube, whatever it may be. We can just answer them throughout the video. We'll have little chapters throughout, like, you know, the search bar, whatever you want to call it on YouTube. So you'll be able to see the different questions if you want to kind of just binge around or see what questions are asked. But yeah, overall, just thank you guys so much for the 2 years. I got all these questions from a community post that I put out on YouTube, and I answered, I'm pretty sure, all of them. But lastly, before we get into the questions, I do give also a bit of a channel update at the end of the video. So if you want to check that out as well, if you obviously care about the channel, be sure to check that out. But without further ado, don't really want to waste your guys' time too much. Let's get into the questions. A bit cliche, but what made you start YouTube and how are you enjoying it so far? Well, what made me start YouTube is I've always kind of just been a YouTube enjoyer. I've watched YouTube for 13 years at this point, 15 years at this point. I've always loved YouTube. I used to watch like occasional videos back in the day being like, this is how you get a successful channel, or this is how you make it big, and whatever, those type of videos, you know. And I always thought I had the skill set to kind of grow a YouTube channel if I wanted to. I just never really had time. But back in 2023 of March, the job I was currently working at and still working at had gotten really, really busy, and they needed to get another shift involved. They would only be open 5 days a week, but they were needed to open 2 more days. So they put up a weekend shift. I happened to get into that weekend shift. And this was probably the best like hours you've ever heard. You don't normally a weekend shift is like 3 days to 3 12 hours. But this one was actually only 2 days and 2 12 hours, with Saturday being time and a half, Sunday being double time. So I would get paid 18 hours for a 12-hour shift on Saturday, 24 hours for a Sunday shift, 12 hours. And it made it so I had 5 days off a week. So honestly, I just had a lot of time, and I was like, well, I'm not just going to sit around and do nothing. I might as well just try to, post some videos to YouTube. Prior to the content creation journey, I had posted some like clips and stuff to YouTube, just mainly to get it off my computer. Some of them got like okay views. I had posted like one killing Twitch streamers type video, and it did actually very well, actually getting me to like 100 subscribers before the content creator journey even started. And I just figured, why not? Let's just post. I posted like one video, it ended up doing well, and then I was like, then I just kind of went full force into it and just kept posting every day, especially at that time where when I first started, I was posting like 7 days a week, just going kind of crazy with it. And how am I enjoying it so far? It's super fun. It's especially as like a part-time thing. I don't really need to worry too much about like views or money or anything like that. Like obviously it does come into play. I want to get higher views and all that stuff. Unfortunately, the YouTube mentality, but it's just super fun that even a small handful of people enjoy the content and enjoy the builds. What has been the most memorable moment or achievement in your YouTube journey so far? Why does it stand out to you? This one's a little tricky because I feel like honestly, I haven't really done a whole lot, but I would probably say the most memorable thing is the time that I got to record a video with Cakes. You might have not seen it on, because I never actually posted a video on this channel, but on his channel, we essentially just tried to fire sniper rounds through like somebody who was weave walking, and it was just a super fun experience. And the fact that he reached out to me to get it going was super like fun, because I typically am not the type who's going to reach out to anybody, and it was just super cool that he wanted to just collab. It was super fun. 1 favorite YouTuber, 2 favorite band, 3 favorite Destiny related moment. 1 being the favorite YouTuber. God, I feel like this changes every so frequently. Just really depends like what stage I'm at in my life. But currently, I don't get the most time in the world to watch YouTube as much lately, but I would say somebody's videos that I always enjoy is probably either Ludwig or CDogVA. I enjoy both their videos, and especially when they collab, super fun creators. 2 favorite band. I don't really have one, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that big into music. Like I listen to it when I'm at work and when I stream and stuff, but for the most part, I don't know. I like pretty much all forms of music. I have a hard time picking favorites, whether it's a band, like movies, TV shows. I don't know. I'm just really bad at picking favorite stuff. 3 favorite Destiny related moment. It's probably when me and my team did Last Wish week 1. We ended up completing it because it was just such a memorable moment, because if you weren't around in the Forsaken grind, it was like crazy how hard doing that day 1 raid was. And obviously only 2 teams did it, but even doing it week 1, there was only like 200 teams that completed it in the entirety of week 1. My team being 176, let's go. But it just was super memorable because the raid released on Friday. We beat the first encounter, and then we made it to Shirokishu, and then we realized we were way under light level. We were like 60 light level under, and it was we just gave up right then and there. And then we came back Saturday with a few different people, not our original team, and we kind of put 2 different teams together, and we were like, okay, we're gonna get this. Then the Saturday we beat Shirokishu, and I'm pretty sure we beat Morgeth as well. Then the Sunday we put all our time into Vault, and then when Monday came around, we were on Riven for like 14 hours until we eventually get it. And it was super memorable. It was just I'll probably remember that experience like until I'm 60. It was super good. Obviously this was before I was a content creator. Unfortunately, there is no current recording of it. There used to be, but then it ended up getting deleted, which kind of sucks, but it was just super memorable being able to beat Last Wish week 1. What do you do in your free time outside of YouTube and gaming? Pretty boring answer. I don't really do a whole lot. I don't really get much time these days because I'm currently not on that weekend shift that I talked about anymore. I work 40 hours a week, normal work job, Monday through Friday. So trying to balance YouTube and that and hang out with loved ones and all that fun stuff makes it so you don't really get the most amount of time to do anything else other than that. But in terms of, I guess, things that I do occasionally, I keep track of the Pokemon card market pretty frequently, make an attempt to. It's been really rough. Kind of been ignoring it a little bit just due to how expensive it's been recently. And other than that, yeah, no, I don't really do much else other than I guess chill and watch TV sometimes. But for the most part, it's pretty much just work, YouTube grind, hang out with loved ones. That's pretty much it. What's your favorite play you've ever made to this day? They're referring to Destiny 2, obviously. And I have 2 of them that I will always remember from older videos that if you were not an older viewer of the channel, you might not remember. There was one with Worm God Crest Titan where the opening play, it was so fun. Just one punching people over and over and over again. If I should be able to find the clip and have it on screen, and I'm just going to remember this one forever. It wasn't like super skillful by any means. It was just how the cards played out. Typically when I'm recording a video, I don't always get the perfect amount of time to get like the perfect game to show off the build. I don't have an unlimited amount of time. I can't play 100 games to really show off the build and get a perfect video. But for this one, I felt like it was just such a perfect demonstration of the build, opening up the game like that. And I'll remember that one forever. And then as well as I have one using Ruinous Effigy. I know you only asked for one, but these 2 stay in my mind, so I'll share it. One with Ruinous Effigy where I just ended up nuking the entire team with one dunk. I blinked onto the point, killed 5 of them, and then I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I took out the 6th one as well with my gun, and it was just super memorable. But those 2 I'll probably remember like fondly forever, just because they're super fun. And I remember after posting them, I went back and watched those clips multiple times just because they were super enjoyable to watch and just very unique stuff that doesn't typically happen. What Destiny build is your all-time favorite? Love the videos, keep them coming. Thank you, I appreciate it. All-time favorite, it's probably just the Strand one. I don't know, I find it very fun and satisfying to use, and it's just really fun to meme around, weave walking everywhere, just because it's so trolly. In terms of another one, I really like the Rat King in a Harmony Trace Rifle. That one is super fun to use, just because you get a kill with the Rat King, you go invisible, you reload, you go to full health, and then you have a Trace Rifle. It just melts people and nobody ever sees it coming. But I would say probably those 2, and then a generic answer, I guess, is probably Dawnblade as well. Just Dawnblade, the speed that it goes is super fun. Can you break down your approach to PvP build crafting? I don't think build crafting is that complicated in PvP. So typically I just go in, if I'm trying to make a Titan build, I'll look at the Titan exotics, kind of just pick something out. And typically we'll just kind of go from there. Try to find a good pairing that can go with it. Like obviously if I'm looking for Warlock, I'll see Seacan filaments. It's like, okay, you want a weapon that can kill really fast. So you pair it with like Taraba or, you know, any weapon with kill clip, or like realistically build crafting in Destiny isn't that complicated. Most of the time the mods that you're running for your armor are pretty similar. Most of the time the builds, it's just kind of, it will do one niche thing, then you just kind of build on it with your certain weapons. In your opinion, butter or mayonnaise to use for grilled cheese? I typically use butter. I don't really see an issue with mayonnaise, but typically I just use butter. What makes you choose Destiny as your main game to make content? Do you see yourself playing different games on the channel in the future? Why I chose Destiny? Destiny is just typically, for the most part, the only game I really play, so there wasn't really much option. I have played other games in the past, and though I do enjoy other games, I've never thoroughly enjoyed other games as much as I do Destiny. There's a reason I have my most game played in Destiny over any other game by like a large margin. And do I see myself ever covering other games on the channel? It really depends on how Destiny's doing and if I ever fall in love with another game, realistically. Let's say tomorrow, if Destiny died and it disappeared Would I continue my YouTube channel? I don't know. Honestly, like it's a hard question for me to answer because there aren't too many other games that I like absolutely love that I'd really be able to cover. Cause it's like, I could transition to other shooter games, but I'm just like, other shooter games can be fun, but I don't really care as much about them. So I'm not going to say no, I'll never play another game on the channel, but it's like, as of right now, I do not see myself covering other games on the channel. I'm sure at some point, or if I ever got to a point where this was like a career thing for me, I would, and I had to pivot to a different game, I'm sure I would make an attempt. But as of right now, doing it as just kind of a side hustle thing, probably not. I'd probably always just cover Destiny. Where do you live and what is your age? Currently I live in Canada, Ontario. Not going to go any more specific than that because, you know, don't really want to dox myself. What is your age? I am 26 years old. Favorite video you've ever made? Probably the Solo Flawless Dungeon ones. Those ones are super fun to record on stream, talk with you guys, and it just makes you feel like you've actually like really accomplished something when you get them done, especially when you get through that dungeon that's really just messing with you. And it was my first time ever doing like a video like that. And though there are things I can improve on, I really did enjoy them and they performed very well, obviously. What do you think is the most underrated gun / exotic armor piece? I don't know if you're asking for like a pairing together or just one or the other, but I'm going to give you honestly the answer to both of them. I think Lumina with Boots of the Assembler is stupidly underrated. I think that the build is so strong. If your team is willing to give you even just 5 seconds to get some noble rounds for you and them, your team just constantly has damage bonuses, constantly healing. It is just so strong, especially if you have a coordinated team. I'm honestly so surprised you don't see it more. What is your favorite year of Destiny? Forsaken. Year 2 of Destiny 2 is probably my favorite year of Destiny. That was the time I played the most and the time I just had the most fun. It's just, I don't know, there was just so much to grind, so much to do. And granted, it was really the turning point for Destiny 2, and it was just so fun. I absolutely adore Forsaken. I don't think anything will ever actually top it for me just due to the amount of content that came out. It had its issues, it had its balancing issues, but it was just super fun. What other genres of games are you into, or are you primarily an FPS gamer? You seem to be favor build crafting, so I was curious if you were into other RPGs like World of Warcraft, Diablo, Final Fantasy, etc. Never really got into World of Warcraft. I did play Diablo a lot. When I was really young, I played a lot of Diablo 2. Then when Diablo 3 came out, I played it like an okay amount, but not the most. And Final Fantasies, they're all right. I played Final Fantasy 14. But in terms of other games, I'm not really much of a, like, I do like shooter games. They're fun, but I've never really gotten into grinding shooters super hard. Like I've played like a teeny bit of Valorant. I have a couple hundred hours in Apex, which is super fun. But in terms of other games that I'm into, I'm kind of into most games. The only genre of game I don't typically touch a whole lot, it would be fighting games. The only one of fighting games I've really played is Smash, so not really into that. But in terms of story games, very fun. RPGs, as you said, I enjoy them. They're fun. But for the most part, since I started playing Destiny, I don't typically trail off a whole lot. I have a decent chunk of time in Warframe, but in this day and age, I typically only play Destiny, TFT, which is Teamfight Tactics. It's an auto battler by Riot Games. I love TFT just because it's super chill and you can kind of just grind out the rank ladder and go. For anybody who's curious that plays, my peak is Master 150 LP, 200 LP, something like that. I don't typically grind rank too much. I typically just kind of, when a new set comes out, I'll play it until I get bored and then stop. But TFT is super fun. And then I guess it's a game, but I play a fair amount of Pokemon Go. So yeah, gives me a reason to get out of the house. And for anybody who plays Pokemon Go, I guess this Metagross is my like most rare thing on the account. Still waiting for the Mega. But yeah, for the most part, I don't really play a lot of games these days, but I can find enjoyment out of most games. Like I could play like Monster Hunter and I'd find it fun. I just typically am probably not going to put 100 hours into it. It's just, I don't know. For the most part, I just play Destiny. Favorite gun of all time for PvP and PvE. All right, well, PvP, it depends. It kind of changes throughout time. For Destiny 1 and Forsaken, it was Last Word. I absolutely love Last Word. But then when they eventually changed it to not be as good for M&K players, like usable, but still not as good, I obviously stopped enjoying it. So then I really enjoyed Thorn, because Thorn was always the second one for me. So I'd probably say either Last Word or Thorn, a little bit of generic answers. But as of right now, a little bit of an unorthodox pick, but I think, no hesitation, the healing auto rifle is my new favorite right now. I'm absolutely loving that gun, and I find the gameplay loop of it just to be so fun. In terms of PvE, I don't know if I have a favorite gun. Honestly, Ergo Sum, probably. I think an Ergo Sum with the Art Conductor perk is super fun to use, and it's very strong as well. If you were a cupcake and you were starving, would you eat yourself? Probably not. I think you would be better to just, slowly, fall asleep instead of slowly eating yourself and, dying that way. How much money do you make on YouTube as a Destiny content creator? All right, so typically a lot of people probably wouldn't answer this one, but I'm going to answer this one for two reasons. One, it's a side hustle of mine, so it's not like my main source of income by any means, so I don't really care to share this one. I can let people know. If honestly, for a lot of people who might want to, step their feet in the content creator journey, they could see, a mid-sized creator such as myself, see their income, and they can decide, wow, that's a lot, or that's not a lot. Depending on who you are, it's going to vastly depend on your opinion with it. And then two, honestly, just YouTuber mind, it makes a good title. So yeah, but I'm going to talk more about just the like base revenue that I have made off the channel, because there's a few other factors that go into it. But first, we'll just start off with the number. On the channel, I have currently made $20,305.64 as of today of YouTube grinding for 2 years and all that fun stuff. Now that is Canadian. I'll put the US one on screen for most of my viewers being US, but this isn't the like be all end all, because the thing is, one, the channel hasn't been monetized for 2 years. The channel has been monetized for like 22, 23 months or something like that. It took me about a month and a half, I'm pretty sure, to get monetized. And two, year one of the channel, I made significantly less. So we're actually gonna split this up into 2 years. So I'm just gonna share most numbers here with it. So for my first year on YouTube, I had 1.6 million views with 92.4K watch time hours, and I made $5,519, which is not bad, especially for a first year of YouTube. But then my second year, obviously, you can do the math here, that I got 3.3 million views, 242.9K watch time hours, and then I got paid $1,825, which is obviously a lot more. So I would, if you're looking for what a mid-sized creator makes, I would look more at that year two variant. But overall, it's definitely not a bad sum of money. Definitely not enough to live off of. I could not do this full time by like these metrics. But as a side hustle, it's definitely not too bad for me just playing some video games and posting it for you guys. Whether you think this is a high number for 2 years, low number for 2 years, like I said, it's really going to vary on the person. How do you go from straight frying solo flaws back to back to straight dogging people in trials? You're not allowed to be good at PvP and Pve. Well, I didn't do back-to-back solo flawlesses in the dungeons. I solo flawless them all on one stream. I didn't do them back to back, but I've always just enjoyed both aspects of the game. I just find PvE is super fun when it's fresh, and then when it becomes not so fresh, I go play PvP. Like I just really enjoy it, to be honest with you. But just all aspects of Destiny I enjoy. Which will lead me into the next question here, actually. What about Destiny do you like compared to other games? The fact that it has PvP and PvE. There's stuff I can grind in PvE, bring it into PvP, vice versa. And I just like that no matter what mood I'm in, there's something to do. There's so much different content. If you want to play with your friends, you can go do some raids. If you just want to chill, you can go grind out like GM Nightfalls or something. Or if you just want to really, really chill, or if you really want to, have a bit of a malty time, you can go hang out in some 6v6 quick play with SBMM. And overall, it's just super fun. I just really enjoy being able to play a bunch of different aspects of the game. No matter what, there's a bunch of different play styles, whether it's PvE, PvP, you can use different builds. There's just so much stuff to do. And I've always just enjoyed the way Destiny 2 works. Then obviously the gunplay it just feels so unique and so fun. Then the last question, probably the most important one, rate Manticore. Manticore, I think, is a very slept on SMG. I think it is actually pretty good, especially if you build craft into it. I actually plan on having a Manticore video coming out probably this coming week or the next week after that. Manticore is it's super fun. It's a very fun gun. I don't think it's top of the meta by any means, but I definitely do think it is a little bit underrated, especially, like I said, if you build and craft into it. All right, and that is all the questions. Now time for a little bit of a channel update for anybody who cares about that. So current upload schedule, as most of you have seen, has been Tuesday through Thursday, has been your 3 PvP builds, which is going to stay. That is not going to change. On Fridays, I am looking to go back to kind of what I did prior to the fact. If you are older viewers of the channel, you'd remember Friday was just kind of like your more so edited style of video, and that is what I'm going to continue to do. It's going to be, your top 15 weapons, your best hunter builds, your best warlock builds, all that. But I'm also looking to start experimenting with different forms of content, make a more entertaining style of content, and dip my feet in that type of content as well for the Friday videos. Then lastly, something that I'm actually kind of excited for, on Saturdays, I'm looking to actually start posting some PvE build videos. I think next week on the Saturday will be the first one, and I am really looking forward to it. Overall, I feel like with Destiny 2 in the route that it's going, to really grow and bring my YouTube channel to the next level, I honestly feel like I need to cover both PvE and PvP at the same time. And honestly, I kind of just want my channel to be kind of a hub for all things Destiny. When you have somebody who's like, I want to go do a GM, let's see what Dalt's got. Oh, I want to go play Trials of Osiris, let's go check out another build. I want people to just come to my channel when they want to find builds for any aspect of the game, and I think obviously covering PvE will be a great addition to that. Now, like I said, we're not going to affect the PvP builds. If you're just here because you want to see the PvP builds, that's great. There's 3 of them. There's going to be 3 of them a week still, so don't worry about that. It's just Saturday, we'll have a PvE build video, and then if PvE starts to do well, I might try to start posting some PvE on Mondays as well. It really depends on how much time I get. So overall, I'm looking forward to just posting more consistently and just hopefully better quality content. And then lastly, I'm planning on at some point, I don't know when I'm going to get around to it, I plan on reworking my membership tab. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like subscribing on Twitch, the little join button below this video. I plan on probably reworking that. Currently, I only have 1 tier and I don't really do anything for it just because I kind of didn't really know what to do, but I'm probably now going to have but I'm probably at some point in the near future, hopefully, I'm going to update it to have probably like a $2 tier, a $5 tier, and then I don't know if I'd go anything higher than that, but I would probably just make it so like people who are members can help vote on future build videos. They'll be able to see some like unedited like trials cards or GM Nightfalls, like solo builds or something, or solo dungeons, just content that not everybody would want to see, but it's also there if people just want more like unfiltered content. And then as well as like emotes for the comments section, nothing like super crazy, but enough if people want to go the extra mile and support me just that a little bit more. Then that money I could put to hiring like an editor or something, like for 1 or 2 of the videos a week, just to save me a little bit of time, or even like a thumbnail artist or something. Just I would never expect a whole bunch of people to get on that, but even if like 10 people signed on to the $2 tier, that's still an extra $20 that could go to helping out the channel. I don't know the timeline for that exactly. Whenever I'm gonna try to do it probably in the next week or 2, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted. I'm sure I'll put it at the end of a video at some point. But yeah. So more videos, membership tab getting a little bit of an update. Nothing is changing a whole lot. Like I said, you're still gonna get your PvP video. Like I said, you're still getting the PvP videos, but more content will be on the way to you guys. And then lastly, all I want to say is thank you guys so much for 2 years so far. Let's make year 3 a banger. Thank you all so much, and you guys all have a good rest of your day.